Washington, Indiana, a lot of college starts, played with a lot of NFL receivers. What'd you make of his debut?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I think it was very encouraging. I mean, it was against the Giants, so that's what it is. They're not a very good team, to put it nicely. The defense scored twice. It was some of that, but I think if you're looking, does this kid belong? Yeah, he belongs. He's got major zip on his passes, which is basically the biggest critique that people have had on Kirk Cousins this year, coming off of injury. Penix has a wow arm. He's a wow factor arm. And then when you watched him in that Ryan Grubb offense in college at UW, he had wow accuracy. So this is not your typical rookie. He's a guy that started a bunch of games. He's played a lot of football. He's very mature. And I actually think it's going to be a great thing for his career to have been there with Kirk Cousins. You see Kirk kind of cheerleading him on now, being unselfish. So you marry up the weapons that they have offensively and then the potential that Penix has. I think it's great. My question would be, is this really what you want to do? Kind of be developing, learning on the fly as you have a chance to win your division. And I think that's the tough decision. I think that's why Atlanta waited so long to put him in as the starter.
Let's go back to.
Okay. So I don't care that it was against the Giants. It's his first start. I don't care how bad the Giants are. I've talked about this repeatedly. When you're a rookie quarterback, if you're going up against bad defenses, I do not care. If we're talking about the Mahomes and the Allens and the Lamars, yeah, feasting on bad defenses means nothing to me. It means nothing. I don't care if they put up 450 yards. I'm like, okay, great. It really means nothing to me. If they do like a really awesome, spectacular play where it's like an amazing throw, where like it doesn't matter who the defender, what the defense is, I can appreciate a great play. But like in terms of like the overall game itself, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. But for rookies, I do. For rookies, it's absolutely relevant. Like these are rookie quarterbacks because we have veteran quarterbacks who still struggle or don't play as great against, bad defenses or bad teams. And I thought this was a great game. Again, this was his first game. This has always been the problem with starting a rookie quarterback this late in the season because everyone's already primed to be like, look what we've already seen Jaden Daniels and Caleb and Mahomes and any of these quarterbacks, any of these teams in general. We're already primed to see so much more football that we're like not able to just be like, well, this is a rookie quarterback getting his first start in his entire life. Like this context matters. 18 for 27, 202 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt. Obviously the interception was not his fault at all. So that lowers things. That lowers, it lowers pretty much everything. It's going to lower all of his kind of like stats, his passer rating, his QBR, his completion percentage. Like it has that trickle down effect, especially with an interception for like, rating and stuff. But it was great because this was always meant to be a more run first offense as well. And so it's great. They had 38 carries, 127 rushing. You'd like to see more off of that amount of carries for sure. But it was smart. They leaned on the run, but they didn't hide the pass. So that's what I really like too. Like it was clear, sometimes when they throw in a backup quarterback, you can tell like, oh man, they don't trust this quarterback to be able to like throw the ball or do anything. They leaned on the run. The run was their foundation, but they weren't like, chewing on your fingernails like, oh God, he's going to have to throw now. He's just a rookie. Like, no, they let him throw the ball. He was comfortable. He hit 8 different receivers, which I love to see, especially out of a young guy. It wasn't like he just kind of zeroed in on like 1 or 2 players that he knew, like, okay, I got to get the ball to them, or I only feel comfortable getting that. Like he was seeing the field. And what I really loved too was that they gave him a lot of quick, easy, high percentage throws. And when it was time for him to kind of stretch the field and push the ball down the field, it was to guys who were open. It wasn't these 50-50 balls, throwing the ball like 60 yards down the side. It wasn't one of those things where it was like, okay, sure, as a quarterback, you're going to need to be able to do those things, but like, why right now? And honestly, most of those times in general should be limited for any quarterback. So it was just great to see them have a simple, straightforward game plan that you should almost expect for like every quarterback, but especially a rookie quarterback. So it was smart. It was smart. And it shows you at the very minimum, like the level of competency that this team is run, at least right now in this immediate moment, which we did not see out of the Chicago Bears, for instance. Okay, like we did not see that, so you can't take that for granted, quite frankly. But that's why I just thought it was smart. They only had a few penalties, which is great. I mean, it wouldn't have been hard to imagine to see like just the offense a little bit disruptive, and again, just the team disruptive in general. You didn't see any of that. He had great composure. He wasn't trying to prove anything. He wasn't trying to be anything beyond what he is right now, and I love that. Again, I think it's so perfect when you see backup quarterbacks. In a lot of ways, backup quarterbacks and rookie quarterbacks can be kind of similar in terms of their style of play, their uncomfortableness, like just kind of like the flow of how the offense is run. And you can see there's certain, the backup quarterbacks. What is it, Spencer Radler? I think that's his name, right? From the Saints. Like, you can see him try to do too much. Baker Mayfield. You can see him in any given moment try to do too much. It's like they're always trying to prove their worth, trying to prove that they belong, prove that they're a starter, prove that they're a star, prove that they're worth the contract, whatever it may be. And you see this with rookie quarterbacks in general. They want to be that guy. They want to show who they are. Or they just have this inflated self-confidence that they believe that they can do more than they can at a certain point in their career. And you didn't see any of that. Out of Michael Penix Jr. And to me, that stands out probably the most out of anything, is that he just was comfortable. He had the composure, and he wasn't trying to do anything beyond who he is on December 22nd, 2024. He wasn't trying to prove that he's a future Hall of Famer. He wasn't trying to prove that he should have been the #1 pick. He wasn't trying to prove, hey guys, with me in here, we're gonna win the division and get to the playoffs. He was just playing. He was just playing ball. He was being a teammate and another guy on the team rather than being the guy on the team. And I love it. I absolutely, positively love it. They were 8 for 14 on third down. They had 10 passing first downs and 11 rushing first downs. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, they relied on the run game, but they still used the passing game, right? They did not hide it. They were very intentional, which I also always love to see. And it was just an overall great game plan, great approach. And again, I understand it was the Giants. I get it. That's why I'm not saying like, oh boy, the Falcons have arrived. They put the league on notice. Like, I'm not saying that either. And it was awesome to see the defense step up. But again, right, it is the defense against like who the heck knows who's out there for the Giants right now. They are a mess. So that's why like I can't even be like the defense played great. They held them to 7 points because it's like, the defense better do that. Like, I expect the defense to be able to do that. This was clearly all about Michael Penix and kind of where he's at right now at this deep in the season as a first game rookie, playing. So, but I really think it was all positives. The team stepped up. Everyone stepped up except for Pitt. In that moment. It's easy to rag on him especially in that moment, but I still think that the team kind of rallied behind their rookie quarterback, and it was just, I have nothing but positives for my takeaways for this game, honestly, and which is why I don't need to give like a qualifier of like, well, it's the Giants and this, that, like, no, I just do not care. So I think at the very least he proved that he does belong, that he should have been drafted. He is a quarterback in the NFL. And, to be able to do that in your very first game, I think is pretty exciting to see. And so I'm excited to see what his next 2 games look like and kind of how they can, continue this approach and continue, what the game plans end up being, because the division's there now. Like, it's there. They can win the division. They can knock out the Buccaneers from being in the playoffs. Like, that is very real. So it's like, it's there. So I'm pumped. I really am. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Atlanta Falcons and Michael Penix Jr.? Were you impressed with how he played? Were you impressed with the Falcons in general? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.